Hello everybody on YouTube, it's your boy, the Memphis XL, right back at you with the 100 days of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where every day, for 100 days, we're dueling with a different deck every single day. Today, everybody, we're taking a look at a very straightforward, slightly glass candy sort of deck. We're taking a look at Gaia Knight. We're trying to do the fusion of Gaia Knight, do lots and lots of damage with our big old Gaia, the magical Knight of Dragons. And it's a nice little deck. It's, like I said, little glass candy, but when it works, it's a beautiful thing. So we're going to go into EDO Pro today. We're going to show this deck off, show you how it works. Big shout out to the mad reviewer Kioma, who asked me to take a look at the Gaia Knights today. So, without further ado, let's go into our deck list and then get right into the duels. So for our main deck today, we're playing one copy of Soldier Gaia, the Fierce Knight, 3 of the very important Gaia, the Magical Knight, 2 copies of Curse of Dragonfire, 3 copies of Curse of Dragon, the Cursed Dragon, 3 copies of Artillery Catapult Dragon. We have 3 Spiral Fusion, 1 Dragon's Mirror, 1 Terraforming, 3 copies of Ultra Polymerization, 1 copy Foolish Burial, 1 Monster Born, 1 Call by the Grave, 3 Book of Eclipse for defense. We have 2 Twin Twisters, we have Set Rotation, 2 Spiral Spear Strikes, 3 copies of Galloping Gaia, and 3 Gateway to Chaos, as well as 3 Impermanents, because this is very much a going second sort of deck. As for the extra deck, we have things like Relinquished Anima, Link Karibo, Verte Anaconda, we have Nightmare Phoenix, we have Nightmare Unicorn, we have 2 Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon, we have 1 copy of Curse of Dragon, the Magical Knight Dragon, we have 3 of Gaia, the Magical Knight of Dragons, we have 3 copies of Sky Galloping Gaia, the Dragon Champion, and a Chimera Tech, in case Cyber Dragons it. I needed this the other day, I'm not taking it out. As for the side deck, there's a couple things. If your opponent's playing all Link monsters, take out the Book of Eclipse for Nibiru. Because if your opponent's playing all Link monsters, you get rid of the Links, give them a 0 defense point token for your beatdown, your piercing damage to do its job. You can throw in things like Blackluster Soldier in this deck, because you are playing lights and dark monsters, as well as, having things like Gateway to Chaos, which can search this out. If you need another Curse of Dragonfire, go ahead. But 5 is, about good enough by my standard. This is good enough here. If you want another Gaia, things like Gaia, the Fierce Knight Origin can be very useful as well. If you want more Spell Trap removal, or you feel like you don't need as much, go for Harpy's Feather Duster. Or you can go for Lightning Storm as well. Either one works as well. Sabatio, the Philosopher's Stone, can search out your fusion spells if you have a Winged Karibo on the grave. Takes an extra step to do, but if you wanted to experiment with that, that is an option. If you find like you can't search these well enough, or you're not getting fusions fast enough, that's an option. Things like Flute of Summoning Karibo in the deck, along with, the Foolish Burial we're already playing, will allow you to do that just fine. As well as 1 Trap Spiral Reborn. This lets you revive your Gaia the Dragon Champion, which our Magical Knight of Dragons counts as, and gives it protection. So, that's also an option as well. So, there you go, there's the deck list. Let's go into good old EDO Pro, show this deck off, show you how it works. It'll have such a good time. Alrighty, our first opponent, another day, another card game. And we were trying to go second with this deck. We do like to go second. It's very much a going second sort of deck. Alright, this is actually a pretty good opening hand. I do like this hand for a lot of reasons. We have both Set Rotation and Galloping Gaia. It's very nice. My opponent is playing Deskbots. Summon a Desk Boot. I'll allow a little bit of this, because I like Deskbots. I do like me some Deskbots, so I'm going to allow just a little bit of this before I do any negation. It's probably going to go for, like, Hulk of Fibrax. Try to go for an Aurora Down combo. Well, I've got the stop to Aurora Down combo. I'm not a big fan of Aurora Down combo. It's a really good combo. I just don't like it, because it's killed too many tuners. Link Karibo, okay. Not going for a Aurora Down combo. At least I don't think he is. Verte Anaconda, you say. Sending Fusion Destiny. I'm gonna have to say no, my friend. There will be no Destroyer Phoenix Boy on my watch. Not if I can help it, anyway. So, my opponent has nothing. It's art. Ooh, I drove to the other field spell. This is like the perfect... You do want to get both field spells. It's really important. So we're going to go for the Gateway to Chaos. This lets me get my Magic Knight. He's the most important card in this deck. You summon him. If you have no monsters, your opponent has more monsters than you do. Or, what was it? Your opponent has a monster with 20 for 300 more attack. You can summon this dude. He summons another dragon. It's very nice. So... Now that I've done that, let's go ahead for Galloping Gaia. What this card can do is, once per turn, I can reveal a Gaia Knight or a dragon. He knows I have the dragon. He doesn't know I have more dragons. So I'm going to reveal that. I'm going to grab another dragon. And then next turn, if I keep the Galloping Gaia, I can just reveal this dragon, get a Gaia. So we're going to normal summon Gaia the Magical Knight. And he's going to summon me a copy of Curse of Dragon the Cursed Dragon, or Curse of Dragon the redundantly named dragon. He searches my fusion spells, or he can get me Spiral Spear Strike, but we really need the Spiral Fusion right now. I'm just going to do the fusion. I'm going to do the fusion. So what you do is, of course, it's a fusion spell, and since you summon out the Dragon Champion, which our fusion counts as with this card, he's going to be gaining 2,600 attackative points. So what we're going to go ahead and do is use both of these. Hwasha. It's 5,200, and since we use our Curse of Dragon in the graveyard, I can make my monster even bigger. So now we're going to go ahead and battle into our opponent here. We'll do lots of damage. We'll do 47. It's not quite an OTK, but more importantly, Gaia is going to gain another 2,600. You see, either player's turn, I can reduce my attack by a smidge, and get myself some more attack points. Or rather, I reduce my attack, I can pop a card. I'm getting my effects mixed up. There's not a lot of effects to get mixed up in this deck, but it's a thing. I've never played Gaia Knights before, so I'm going to mix up an effect or two. But there you go. We've got our magical dragon dude. He can attack 2 monsters on the field. My opponent can't do any effects during the battle phase, so long as I've got a Gaia the Dragon Champion here. Let's see, lefty and righty, okay. Righty indeed. And, okay, there's the Hulky Fiber Axe. Let me think about that. Do I want to destroy this thing? Or no? Yeah, I probably should interrupt this. I'd rather him not have that if I can help it. I mean, he'll get a tuner, but that's less annoying than if he can go for a Roardon combo. And he's already normal summoned, unless I did something else there. Okay, so he'll go for Linky Stinky. He'll go for Linky Karibo. Unfortunately for him, Link Karibo will not do him any good. Alrighty, so that's pretty much it. I'm going to go ahead, you know, do another fusion. I have no need to do another fusion, but there you go. So, my opponent, you know, we were able to interrupt him. You know, he had that he had a very powerful Roardon combo he could have gone for, but he didn't. Instead, he relied on the Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer, but this is why Imperm is just so good for going second X. So, there's a win. We didn't quite get an OTK, but our monster's rather big. You get the idea of this deck. When you go good, you get all the damage. You get this dude. If my opponent had multiple monsters, I can attack all those monsters. It's very nice. So let's go for Duel 2. See what other shenanigans we get up into. We still got Spiral Spear Strike to show off. Let's go for Duel 2. Alrighty, second opponent. Let's go do it again. Continuing on with Gaia Powder. What do we got here? Alright. Well, I've got Field Spell and Field Spell. That's good. Starting off with Gaia. Very nice. Opponent has to... It's my birthday. It's my birthday. Didn't you know it's my birthday? We got all the stuff in the world. Alright. Let's start with Terraforming. We'll get to the Gateway to Chaos. If I play my cards right, I should be able to go for pretty close to I should be able to OTK here. If I don't get interrupted, but we'll find out. So we'll activate the Gateway of Chaos. Obviously, I don't need another Magic Knight, but I'm going to get another Magic Knight because I want my Magic Knight right now. And then we'll go for Charging Gaia. Or Galloping Gaia. I like, you know, Charging sounds a little more like something Gaia would do. He's one of them chargy boys. So we'll get our Cursed Dragon of the redundant name. As we like to do. We do have Foolish Burial. This is good if I just don't have a dragon in the hand. I need to put a dragon in the graveyard, but we don't need to worry about that right now. Let's go for Gaia and see what happens. Alright, my opponent just does not have anything. I mean, if this guy is relying on, like, Battle Fader, he's going to be into a rough time, because he can't use Battle Fader. Now I've got all this, so let's go for the Ultra Poly, pay our dues, summon out the big dude. And, you know, most of the time you're summoning this Magic Knight, there are other magical knights. Like, for example, we've got this dude. He's summoned, you can add Spiral Spear Strike, and you can change my opponent's monsters to positions when he attacks. And the Curse of Dragon Magic Knight, he basically lets you use the things in your graveyard as materials for fusions. So good for late game sort of thing. That's why we're only playing him at 1. But you get the idea. So we're going to go ahead and bring these two back. Heyo. We back. Spiral Fusion. Here we go. This ought to be an OTK unless I'm mistaken, because I've got, like, a lot of damage. And I'll go ahead and play Spiral Spear Strike. This card gives us piercing damage. And then when we do piercing damage, we get to draw 2, discard 1. Really good for searching. But that ought to be game unless... Oh, actually... No, it's not quite game. It's very close to game. It's like, he has 200 life points. Good luck. Good luck, my brother. I hope you don't need it. And we'll go ahead and end our turn. We're pretty set. I mean, I've got the ability to quick effect, reduce attack, pop, pop. So unless this guy really hits me hard right now, he's pretty much done. You know, battle traps don't work against Gaia. Mekk-knight Indigo. I see. Okay, so you're gonna move yourself, you say. Okay, that's fine. Mekk-knights. The thing about Mekk-knights is they're all about, like, you know, setting up a bunch of the Mekk-knights and making it so they can negate all your stuff. Alright, so blue sky. And how does this thing work? This card's summoned. Add Mekk-knights. Okay, that's still fine with me. I am so far okay with this. Alright, that I won't be okay with. Send an Orchestra or World Legacy card. 2 or more other cards in this card's column, which there are not. Yeah, I kind of don't want you to do stuff with that, if I can help it. Okay, so I think he still gets to do that, but I'm at least gonna cost him his gears. Mekk-knight Orcus. A powerful opponent to be sure. Granted, I kind of hit him in the face really hard going first. So, I don't know. Banish a face up. Target a monster, lose attack defense, you control the original attack of that monster. Ah, I see. Then my monster becomes rather small. Interesting. Interesting indeed. I mean, that is going to be costly. And he do have the Mekk-knight of the Mernenster. Let's see. Link summon, discard a Mekk-knight or a World Legacy. Add one of those, deck to hand. Mekk-knight battles the monster in a different column. Can't be destroyed by battle. Take no battle damage. Okie doke. Certainly not a card I really want to deal with. But I have you know, this is why I have my other magical Gaia Nightboy. So unless he has the card that stops monster effects, I should be okay. Because yeah, he can banish the purpley boy. He'll get another Mekk-knight monster. Get another Indigo Eclipse. And then this comes back. Okay. And also a Book of Eclipse if I really need it. Okay. Let's start with Foolish Burial. We'll bait things out. That won't get anything. Okay, that's fine. We'll send another Curse of Dragon, the Cursed Dragon. And since he went to the graveyard, yeah, I can negate everything of my opponents that has less attack than the Curse of Dragon. So those will all get negated. I could just run over the Mekk-knight. Or I could make something big. Or my opponent can surrender. Okay, that works too. Alrighty. So, again, a very nice showing by Gaia Knights. And, you know, people don't expect the Curse of Dragon, a retrain of an OG dragon, to do this much. But it do. It do. It doesn't give me a boost like I'd like, but it does blanket negate every monster effect on the board. And that's okay. So let's go for duel number 3? 3. We're going for duel number 3. Maybe 4. We'll see how it goes. These are going rather quick, but let's go for duel number 3. Alrighty, our third opponent against player the great and the magnificent boy. And we're going very much second like we like to do. I tell you, in testing, this deck did not go this well with how we're drawing. It's like I said, this is a very glass candidate. You know, if you start with the right things, it works very well. The problem is, you know, Gaia, unless it's the Magic Knight, the rest of them don't swarm as well. I mean, they can still do some swarming, but lordy, this is a good hand. I mean, I've got my field spell, I've got my other field spell, I've got the fusion already, I've got the thing that gives me the piercing damage, and we're up against, what do you call this, rockets? Dragon Link? Alright, that could be problematic. Since I don't have Imperm, that's the one thing my hand doesn't have, is Impermanence. Oh no, this is Dragoonides. Depending on which synchro he makes, that could be problematic. Because Aldabhair has the monster effect negation. Ascalon's just a big destroyer beater dude. But I'm more worried about Aldabhair. How do you guys pronounce, like, you know the big Dragoonide synchro is like level 10. I usually call him Aldabhair. Or Aldabhair. What do you guys call him? Okay, we got Striker Dragon, field spell into other field spell. It's like I'm playing a mirror image of myself. Except I'm the guy riding the dragon, and this is the guy who's just a dragon. He's just the dragon, and I'm gonna ride him. I'm gonna ride him off into the sunset. I'm gonna put a saddle on this guy, and I'm gonna ride him off into the Dragon Ravine sunset. Okay. So, do you have rockets in your hand? I would presume you did if you were gonna search that dang old field spell. You've got Tracer, right? Pretty sure I saw Tracer earlier. Yeah, there he is. Target a face-up card, destroy it, summon a rocket from the dick. Summon a dick rocket. That's what this does. Alright, so my opponent's certainly going to be setting himself up a bird. The question is, how big of a board? Because Tracer can get him another monster, but he has to pop his Sector Launch. Or, depending on what he draws off Chaos Space, that is true. Target a banished dude, bottom of the deck, draw one card. Surprised he didn't do that before using Boot Sector Launch, because then he could have drawn into another rocket. But then that's just my opinion. Who knows if I'm right? Who knows? Sometimes I know what I'm doing, sometimes I'm a dum-dum. It happens. You know, you play 100 days, 100 different decks. Sometimes you lose your mind. It happens. But it's all good. I mean, I got my good old hand. I love this hand. It's a good old hand. Romula? Okay. Dragoonide spell, trap, or a... Okay, and now we can get back the thing. Okay. White Dragon with a booster. Didn't use Romulus's effect. Let's see. Dragon, special summon the deck. The zone this card points to. Summon a dragon or winged beast from handed defense. Blah, blah, blah. Can't be used as link material. Okay, so this guy's going to keep going. I'm going to go ahead and skip ahead now because I feel like this guy's just going to keep building into something. I really wish I had Nibiru right now. But if I can just top deck into that dang old Imperm, I think I'll be okay. So I'll be back as soon as this guy's done doing things. Alrighty, my opponent has finally finished his turn. He didn't do too terribly much. I mean, he's got a board. I'm more worried about whatever this is more than anything else. I mean, he's got Boral Sword, but I can deal with that. I've got Red Eyes Darkness, Metal Dragon. I've got Pesty on my board. I'm talking about my board like it's his board, and his like it's mine. But you get the idea. So, we're just gonna go for it. Sadly, we don't have a way to interrupt the Boral Sword. That would have been nice. It would have been nice if I had a way to interrupt the Barsal Dragon. But we will make do. We will make do as we do. We'll see. I mean, he's got something. He's got that Boral Sword that has the speed spell 4. Put something in defense mode? Okay. I was not expecting that. I was kind of thinking he'd save that for something important. Maybe he doesn't want me to do damage. Little does he know, I'm all about damage. That's kind of my thing. So, we're going to go ahead and summon out Gaia the Mekk-knight. And we will attempt to do the summon. Ah, he did have a negate. Luckily for me, I was prepared for this. Not like super prepared or anything, but the fact that I can use the things in my hand makes that superfluous. So we're going to go ahead and make our big bossy boy. And summoning out using this, and I could get the other one, but should I? I kind of want to leave this on the board to do more damage. Yeah. When in doubt, more damage. And we'll go ahead and blanket negate his board. Might as well. Not that it's going to help him too much. I mean, that'll stop his battle protection. And we'll go for Spiral Spear Strike. So I get the piercing damage. And my friend, I think you're in a bit of trouble here. So let's go ahead and beat over. I can attack 2 monsters. We'll attack the Boral Sword, because he's more important to destroy. Ooch. And I'll gain some attack points. And this is going to be an OTK right here. I'm 7,800 points of Beat Stick. And then I do piercing damage, draw 2. I don't need that as much right now. And that'll be game. So, there you go. All your combos are meaningless in the face of Mott's big old spear. Alright. I mean, that's pretty much, you know, we're going to call it a day today because, honestly, that's going to be 95% of our duels is making this dude. The other stuff in the extra deck doesn't show up very much. That's like top of the moon. Like, if he had like 200 life points, I would be making Red Eyes Flare. That's about it. So, let's go for the end screen. Alrighty, Gaia Knight, the Dragon Champion deck. Went 3-0. Better than I expected. I was thinking like 2-1 or lowest, I would say 1 out of 2. It is a glass cannon-y sort of deck. You know, if you start off with your Gaia Knight, it's good. If you have the field... You know, one field spell is better than the other, but, you know, if you get both, it's even better than before. But so long as you get at least something to start out with, it's pretty good. And you always want to go second, of course, because going first in this deck does not work very well. It does not have a going first sort of play. So, I hope everybody at home enjoyed this deck. Make sure that if you do like it, that you hit the like button. That lets me know that you liked it. And consider subbing if you haven't, and you want to help the channel get bigger. It's no pressure, nothing. I'm just saying, if you want to. No pressure. And tomorrow, let's see, what is the big old list of decks say? Tomorrow we're playing the Twilight deck, which is another fan submission. So, we're going to take a look at that tomorrow. Thank you all very much for watching. Your boy Memphis is signing out. Until next time, y'all take care now.